Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I'm with Anthony Hootie Russo, former associate with the Gambino crime family. What's up, Hootie?
All right, Staxx. Big announcements today.
Yeah, man.
Chatting with Staxx. This is a new platform. You know, the Hootie platform. I've been telling people for none but positive things. And this is going to be a second show that I'm going to be doing, and a second show that Staxx is going to be doing. It's going to be the Hootie and Staxx show. We're going to surprise you with the name. It's going to have its own Gmail. It's going to have its own YouTube channel. It's going to be playing on Chatting with Staxx and the Hootie and Staxx show. It's also part of the Hootie and JC show, but it'll only be playing on them two channels. I'm still on the West Coast with JC and McCallie. That's not going anywhere. We're just doing more shows. Me and Staxx are on the East Coast, and we could get up early in the morning and put shows in and get people on the East Coast that are up early and interviews. We got Ori Spotto coming on, our first show. This show here is going to be a little different because you fans of Staxx at home and fans of mine never really heard Staxx's story, why I took this project on with him and how his journey has been and how far he's come. None of you know that. And we're going to get into that today real quick as our soft open, as they would call it in the business world, of a new opening of a mom and pop store. So we're going to do a soft opening with me and Chatting with Staxx. We're going to chat it up. So, Staxx, I want you to tell everybody where you're from and where you grew up and the area, because a lot of people don't know about gang activity in that certain city, in that certain state.
Yeah, I'm from Bristol, Connecticut, in between Hartford and New Britain, in between Waterbury and Hartford. There's a town called Bristol, Connecticut. ESPN is in this town, and back in the 90s, it was gang filled, man. There was nothing but gangs everywhere. Like, I would walk to school, there would be gangs of kids, and everybody had a clique that they belonged to. So eventually, I migrated towards the 20 Love organization. All my friends were in it. So in 95, I ended up joining with them, and they were a black gang in the 60s in the Connecticut prison system, and they came out of the Connecticut jail and they started taking in anybody. So they took in all races, and in 95, I was down for my cause. You know, we were getting into fights, shootings, all kinds of crazy shit. And I've been to prison, in and out of prison a whole bunch of times. And I dealt with drug addiction, you know, I battled with that. I got 2 years clean. I had an ex-girlfriend pass away from it. And I'm trying to move in the right direction and not be stuck in that you know, the depths of despair at the bottom, like a lot of people are with drugs and you know, depression and all that. And I'm trying to you know, motivate myself to do something better with my life, you know.
Now, in a nutshell, that's his story. And now people understand when you reached out to me and I took this on with you, that you ain't just this soft-spoken pretty boy from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Seeing you and talking to you, and now I come from the tri-state area, and Connecticut's part of the tri-state area. Now you run up on me looking like Staxx, like a little pretty boy, talking about Bristol, Connecticut. I'm like, and who's your mom? Puffy and Miffy and Muffy? You know, like you think a Wasp, you know what I mean? You don't, anything you just said didn't sound gang affiliated whatsoever. And when we had this conversation, I couldn't believe that I didn't know that until you told me the name of the gang. And then I broke it down because I knew it. Remember, I told you how they actually ran it like organized crime, like Cosa Nostra. They had captains, they had generals, they had soldiers, to where it got pretty watered down because you guys weren't involved in anything organized. You would just run wild. And that was you. You were running wild, fighting, doping, hanging, nothing organized. Like, yeah, maybe you dealt a little drugs, maybe you did a few robberies, but nothing was organized. Nothing was set up. You didn't have an extortion ring going on. You didn't have corners where everything was working, because you go back with this gang a long way. But
it was a lot of assaults and a lot of stealing cars, robberies.
Right. Coming from such an organized gang, because they were very organized, more organized than the gangs are in prison today. Because
Yeah.
20 Love is very, very well recognized in the gang system, and it's all it's recognized to be an African American gang.
Yeah, I had tattoos. I was down for the cause, man.
Listen, I remember when I first spoke to you, I knew you were down for your cause, and that's why I want people to hear your story. Because everybody thinks that we're preaching all this Cosa Nostra gangs and drug shit on the Hootie platform with all the shows that we got, when it's not that at all. Look at you.
No.
You know what I mean? You went from being in the streets every day to on your free time doing research, actually calling me and telling me about interviews and getting people. And you're on the phone putting in the legwork, which I love that people don't even understand how good your work ethic is coming out of the street. This is what I want people to understand and see. Somebody like you, like you're not there yet, but you're on the fastest and best track that I've seen anybody turn their life around.
I'm trying, man.
No, you're not in the streets, man. You're on the computer. You're doing your research. You're hanging with your family. And this is what this is about. And nobody gets that. They need to hear the stories that people think we're glorifying the life in the street to get to know why you're doing what you're doing now, what other people don't realize, right? Tell them what happened to you, and you went to jail on gang affiliated. Let them know and how hard that is for somebody that's a gang member. And you did it.
Yeah. So after I joined, I was in it for 2 years, and I got a home invasion charge, and I got I was out on bond, and I covered up all my gang tattoos.
You just pulled a hoodie. You just pulled a hoodie.
Yeah.
You got to
that was my fault. So I ended up getting out of the gang. But the reason why I ended up getting out of the gang is the president of the gang at the time thought I was sleeping with his wife. So they lured me to a park, and there was about 8 of them. I got out of the car. They said that we were going to meet some girls. I just walked with them up into the woods, and they turned around. They just beat the shit out of me. It was bad. They left me for dead there, and I picked myself up. I walked home, and I ended up going to jail and, fighting 10 toes down and just holding my own.
And tell them you went in, no gang affiliation.
None.
Away from them, and they were there with you. They were in the same prison as you.
And they asked me, other gangs asked me to get down with them, and I told them no, and I just stayed neutral the whole time. And it was hard, man. It was a struggle, but I made it through.
You definitely did, and you're a person that deserves everything that he needs to have coming to him, and that's nothing but good because you did it, man. A lot of people wouldn't withstand that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, no white guy would have withstand it because they don't realize it's Connecticut, but there ain't no white kids in them jails.
No.
As white as Connecticut as people think it is, they got to stop watching White Christmas and all these Christmas. Connecticut's filled with B&Bs and everything's like Greenwich, but it's not. It's not.
Man, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport. There's a lot of bad places.
I learned all this from you, not even from the streets. And, I've been in the streets my whole life.
Yeah.
And so you broke it down for me, and I went and did my own research. She's got some hard-ass neighborhoods in Connecticut, man. Hartford ain't no joke over there. Bristol ain't no joke. And people would be like, Bristol, just pretty boy talking about. That's all I thought about until I went and did my own research and figured it out and then realized what you went through. And then let them know how your relationship is today with the president that you had the beef with.
So now me and him are best friends, man. We've been best friends ever since we were young kids, but the gang shit, the politics, it all caught up with us, and now we put all that behind us and we're back friends again. And I got a 16-year-old daughter that's struggling, and I'm trying to get her to stay out of the streets and show her that that's not the way to go. And I got my daughter back in my life. It took a lot to get her back, but things are finally looking up for me,
And we're going to eventually have your friend on.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on the show talking about the gang life and being the president of 20 Love, and, his set. And we got Spitter coming on as well. I just spoke to him this morning. He's going to check out his schedule. He's going to talk about the game and another area that I had no idea until the other night because someone bought a house in that area and they told me about what was going on up there. And I remember Spitter talking about it. So I called him up and he confirmed it. And he had a little something to do with that years ago. And he's going to come on and talk about that area. Another area people would be like, no way. You know what I mean? Just like I was like that when you told me your story.
Back in the 90s, it was insane here. I mean, the newspapers were flooded with gang violence constantly. There was people were hiding under cars and slicing people's Achilles tendon for initiation to get into Latin Kings in the 90s out here. It was pretty crazy.
I didn't even know the Latin Kings was in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah, they're out here.
Yeah, I know. They were all, listen, these guys, and none of that shit was hitting the papers back here. And I could get to your house in an hour from mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And none of that was, I mean, I was hearing all the shit in Jersey 3 hours away. Shit.
Yeah.
And
but I mean,
part of the, Philly's part of Pennsylvania. It's not even the tri-state area. And we was getting Philly news, Jersey news.
Yeah.
No Connecticut, no Hartford, no Bristol. You ain't see Bristol, Connecticut.
Because there's so much going on in New York that they don't care about the news here.
They're talking about the shit in Philly and Jersey.
Yeah.
But they don't want people to know that Whitey White Washby, Connecticut got shit going down like that. You know what I mean? They think that's where the money is.
Yeah. A lot of people think that.
Yeah. I thought that, being Italian, I'm like, wow, that's where the money goes. And working jobs in the city, everybody that works in Manhattan ain't from, meaning people call the city Manhattan when the city's the 5 boroughs. I got to keep correcting because where I'm from, if you're from Brooklyn, they call Manhattan the city. But if you're from Brooklyn, they say Brooklyn. All 5 boroughs is a city. Outside of that is New York State. So back in Manhattan, nobody's from Manhattan. Nobody's from Brooklyn. Now all the yuppies moved to Brooklyn, Stuyvesant Heights, Park. So all these areas are fancy now. But a lot of those people, like the execs and all these higher up people, I remember in the corporate worlds in Manhattan, all lived in Connecticut. And they didn't look gang affiliated. You know what I mean?
They all traveled to work, right?
So I guess the media controlled that. Because of the real estate. Who knows why? There could have been a million reasons why that they control that. Like we're here. Listen, there's rich areas in Jersey, but what they're reporting on shit going down in South Jersey, shit going down in Newark. They made a movie, New Jersey Drive.
Yeah.
Come on, about the carjackings. They had like the most carjackings one yet. The movie was awful.
They made a movie. There's a movie about Bristol. It's called Bristol Boys.
Yeah. What independent label is that under? YouTube or Facebook? On that movie.
No, there is some people in it that are that were in Oz and some other shows, but it's an all right movie. Check it out. It's called Bristol Boys.
Chuck Zito's a biker, legitimate biker. I'm not making fun of the guy's a legitimate tough guy. You know what I mean? Legitimate tough. Punches shit out of Van Damme and everything and scores. So I'm not making fun of it, but Chuck Zito doesn't even have an agent. He books his own acting career. So like guys like that with Oz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is the stories that people need to hear. They need to know. Because I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, this Staxx guy. Like, the guy I was talking to before you called in.
Yeah.
He's like, that fucking Staxx. I've been watching him. What's that kid's story? It's like, no, he's not a fucking mob groupie. The guy's a gang member who's changed his life around and this is what you wanted to do. Like, I didn't push you into podcasting. You wanted to be in podcasting.
Yeah.
And then we did your first interview and I didn't even know you were nervous. Remember? I was solid, soft-spoken, clean-shaved. Like, I was like, wow, that whole persona of you being this gang member, you don't come off like that. And it's, the area you grow up in. Like I always tell people, you could be from the hood, but you're not hood. You know what I'm saying? And then the hood, and then there's guys that come from really nice areas that want to be hood. And those are the idiots we make fun of. You know what I mean? You pull up, with a silver spoon in your mouth and you want to sell crack or you want to join a gang. These are the things we need to stop from happening. I want to pull them people out. Like I keep telling people, there's people out there that are trying to preach to kids and mentor. And I hope kids listen, but this isn't content that I want kids to hear, because it does sound glorified to kids because it's sponges. They absorb everything that you say, but it's like what I tell people about the Quran, right? The Muslims are probably the most peaceful people that you could ever meet on this planet. But then you have that 10% that interpret the Quran in their own way and use it for violence, to hurt, terrorism. And that's what happens. The young kids will take what we're saying and use it as being glorified. Yo, that's great. I'd rather live 5 years like that than 20 years broke. Like you'll hear stupid shit like that. So we're not trying to reach that. We're trying to reach the people that they don't have any other options when they're in the gang, like you. But you were smart enough to know if they could do this to me, and I used to play in a sandbox with this kid over a girl, I got to get the fuck up out of here and change my life.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. We were all like, it was like we were infighting more than fighting other people. It was crazy.
And there was no money being earned.
No, not no real money.
No, nothing organized.
No,
collected every week. Not not an earn, not a paycheck, as we would call it in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That baffled me more because I'm saying Connecticut's a rich area. Guys should have carved out a piece of territory and been extortion. Meaning, I'm telling you that's what you should have went and did. But that's what I'm thinking of with an organized gang like 20 Love, with the reputation that I know of, not firsthand, but the reputation that I know of being heard from the jail system. How organized? If you're that organized in the prison system, you should be pretty damn organized on the outside.
Yeah.
Mexican mafia, they send the money in and out of jails.
I think when they came to the street, it fell apart. The organization fell apart. Yeah.
People weren't following the rules the right way. And I remember me and you were talking one day, and you said like the rules got rewritten.
Yeah. It was like people. So one time they tell me it's a green light on all people against us, right? I'm like, okay. So I see one of them in a restaurant. I go up in the restaurant, start fighting them in the restaurant. I get called to a meeting. Unnecessary beef. You need to get a bounce for that. I'm like, what the fuck is this for, man? And a bounce is when you got to put your hands against the wall and you catch it on the back.
Right. Explain to what a bounce is.
So when you catch a bounce, you put your hands on the wall. You got to put your hands on the wall, and you have two people in back of you, and they punch your ribs for up to 2 minutes, 20 seconds at a time. 20 seconds. If you drop your arms, 20 more seconds gets added to the clock. And then that's what they call a bounce.
Ribs. Some people walk away with broken ribs.
You walk away with broken ribs. You definitely do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because they got that from asses up. If you remember as a kid, you used to throw the basketball, you have to stand up against the wall. Whoever lost out last in the game, and it was asses up. They got hit with the ball. They turned that into a bounce. You put your hands on the wall, 20 seconds of nothing but kidney and rib punches. That's some shit.
It was brutal, man.
You don't realize, and I like me and you've had these conversations. I know what you've been through and how strong you are as a person.
Yeah.
And if you withstood that, I know that no matter how many times me and you together will get knocked down trying to get this off the ground, you're going to get right back up with me.
Yeah, of course. And
that's why I do. We talk all the time. We do interviews all the time. We talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know that you're going to put you got the work ethic to put the work in, just as I do. So
definitely.
You're going to go side by side with me.
I get a lot of negative comments too. And honestly, if you got anything negative to say, I'm just going to block you off the channel. I'm not even going to respond to you. Just keep it moving. I don't got time for any negativity over here.
And I welcome all the negativity. So
on
my page with it, because that's just another episode for me to do.
Yeah. Just click the watch button again.
My man Staxx got no time for that.
None.
His lifetime.
Yeah, definitely.
And
make sure you guys stay tuned for all the new shit we got coming.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Ori Spotto, first guest, because him and Staxx got a little little beef to settle.
Yeah.
A little inner beef,
Yeah,
Ori's like a stepson to the Hootie platform. So, but we're gonna make him the step uncle, honorary.
Yeah.
So him and Staxx got a little beef to settle on the air. We're gonna straighten that out.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Always up bright and early, guys. So we're gonna have the episodes out right away. These episodes will be pushed out right away.
Definitely.
You can definitely get the content. Remember, listen, 20 people are gonna get something positive to say about us. 2 people are gonna put something negative, and everybody's gonna run with the negative.
And we're still gonna do it. So you could talk all the shit you want. We're still gonna do it
until they put me under the jail, which might be soon. So who knows? We're going to be putting out this content for a while.
Yeah.
So,
until they shut us down.
we're going to be talking about your story throughout the whole series of this podcast because people really need to hear it. If they don't catch this episode, they'll hear it in another episode because you have a lot. And now everybody's going to go, oh, shit. That's why Staxx is on the air. He's not a mob groupie because they see your pictures in the background. You're not because you do your homework. That's what people don't understand. It wasn't like following Cosa Nostra your whole life. You were in the streets fighting for your life.
Yeah.
They don't get that. In Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah.
No, people don't get that. You know what I mean?
What you said.
So, even
Here
when
we
you put
go.
well, it's Siri. Siri hears everything.
Yeah, it does.
She's reporting back to the NSA, but we're good with them.
Until next time, make sure you come and check all our videos and
subscribe, hit the bell. It'll be out there soon. It'll be created today for this episode alone. And this will all be Chatting with the Staxx, and it'll be promoted on all platforms, Bell Tells, the Hootie and JC show, all the platforms that Hootie's representing for everybody. And we got actually a new guy coming in from Detroit that we're grooming right now. It's going to be a little while before we get his podcast up and going. My man Dragon, shout out to him. And stay up.
I want to give a shout out to It's Flock too for helping me with the logo and he's helping me with beats and all that. Thank you, man. All right, man. Until next time, stay up.
Stay up.